Our theme this evening is Thanks for the Memories. And the first part of our program is a flashback to 1969-1970 school year. In November 1969, this group of band members got together to perform at the AFS-YFU Assembly, which was a benefit for foreign exchange students at our high school. The group was so popular that many clubs and organizations in Marshalltown and surrounding central Iowa invited them to play. And they performed on Bill Riley's Talent Sprouts show in Des Moines at KRNT, even though they were hardly sprouts and maybe questionably talented. But Bill Riley liked them and invited them then to play at the 1970 Iowa State Fair, which was also in Des Moines. The 1970 yearbook called their musical performance Talented and Amusing. So please join me in welcoming back Morticians Union
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Morticians Union Local 393 proudly presents the Grave Diggers, the world's first and thankfully only embalming fluid ensemble. Before we begin this evening, we'd like to say thanks and give a tip of the old grave digger shovel to Ann Stevens and Mr. Ellingson for browbeating us into coaxing us out of retirement. In any case, we're happy to be here. But honestly, at our age, we're happy to be anywhere. You know, a lot has changed in 50 years. The bottles we use are now considered vintage. Some of the guys had to augment their hair. And we won't be playing all of our old tunes tonight because, quite frankly, we don't remember them all. The program this evening is brought to you by the Casey Coffee Coffin Company.
Casey coffins are so fine, made of satin, brass, and pine. When your loved ones pass away, let them go the Casey way. Casey.
There's a Casey coffin in your future. Yes, the person who owns one. People are just dying to get into our Casey coffins. Our first number this evening is dedicated to two of our dearest customers, little Liza Jane and her sister Susanna. And all the boys can still remember them as we laid them away in their golden slippers. Before we go on to our next number, we'd like to introduce ourselves. In case you're sitting out there thinking to yourselves, who the heck are these old guys? My name is Tom Britnell. I'm the chief coffin salesman. Next, we have Bob Adams. He's our head embalmer. And as you can see, he really loves his work. Next is Rich Mueller. He's our director of picks and shovels. He really digs his work. Next we have Mike Rigor Mortis Knight. He's our straight man. And next we have the terror of the freeways, the mad hearse driver, Nick Lane. Now, there are a couple of things you gotta say about Nick. He hasn't heard a single bad word from any one of his customers. And he doesn't have to worry about backseat driving either. Next, we have Sherm Pearly Gate Spots. He's our underground agent.
Excuse me, sir. Just how tall are you?
Sherm's personal motto, I'll be the last one to let you down. And last, and quite possibly least, the newest member of our team, the youngster, the apprentice, the Luke to our Obi-Wan, Adam Babyface Swoop. We'd also like to give a shout out to two of our gravedigger brothers who weren't able to be with us this weekend, Dave Fredrickson and Robin McIntyre. They're actually representing the union at the annual Undertakers Underground Convention. And they'll be catching up on some of the newest technology like fireproof coffins, in case you're not quite sure which direction your loved one's going to be taken in the air. And that new gluten-free embalming fluid. They'll also be attending a few seminar classes such as how to put the fun back in funeral. You were missed, guys. Maybe you can join us for the next reunion in 50 years. Our next song is a lively little number that we in the union would like to dedicate to our very first customer back in 1969 when we were all young and Adam wasn't. It's entitled Bring Back My Bonnie, but we in the Union, being the fun-loving crack-ups that we are, we'd like to change the title somewhat to suit our own purposes. So we call it Bring Back My Body. Before we go on to our next number, we'd like to bring you another message from our corporate sponsor of 50 years, the Casey Comfy Coffin Company. A recent national survey of current casket owners found that 4 out of 5 preferred to be buried in a Casey coffin.
Yeah, of course.
That's because Casey coffins are sealed completely. That's so water won't leak in, and you, my friend, won't leak out.
Not proud.
And now, for all you old-timers out there, let's be honest, you're all old-timers out there, we offer a medley of old-time favorites. Now, all of you out there, at least those of you that are paying attention, and you're not still sitting out there thinking to yourselves, do I know these guys from bingo or shuffleboard? You've noticed that we in the union strive to maintain a straight face. This is not always easy. Each mortician must go through long hours of rigorous training before they are finally admitted to the union. Now there's one final test that they must pass before their graduation. They must hold their hand or a lighted candle for 10 seconds without changing their facial expression. Now we feel that once the mortician has mastered this, he's able to cope with any situation that might arise.
Hey, don't be laughing. This is a burning issue.
Go along, we've had a request from the back of the audience, but sorry folks, we're going to continue anyway.
This next number features moi, the bass jugger, the big Jugbowski, the Juggernator, stretching my wings, as it were, and listen to the mockingbird.
It's a cast.
Now, I know some of you are sitting out there thinking, I've had a perfectly wonderful evening, but this wasn't it. So before we go on to our final number, we would like to sincerely thank you for being a great audience, despite our best efforts. You know, some of the guys were a little worried that our 1969 shtick wouldn't play so well in 2019, but I said, don't worry, our bad jokes are like bad wine. They're just going to get worse with age. Our final number this evening is a medley.
Yeah, here we go.
And in a blatant attempt to class up the act here, and to lend a helping hand, we bring up someone you all know and love. He led this ragtag, motley band of musicians to the Rose Bowl parade and back. The one, the only. He'll be available for autographs after the show. Our fearless leader, Mr. Jerry Ellingson. Now, the first part of this medley will feature Mr. Allingson on some rather unusual instruments. Jerry, did we print the music big enough for you? Is it big enough for you? Can you read it? The music?
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. You remember how to do that?
Scratch, worse than You'll be all right.
All right. The second part of the medley is about a place that is near and dear to our hearts. You know, it's not all serious faces, tuxedos, coffin sales, 24/7 for us. At the end of a long, hard day, we like to go to a place where we can let our hair down. Figuratively speaking, and have some fun. And the last part of this medley sort of sums up the weekend with a little help from our friends.
Sadly enough, you will be the song. Oh, okay. Just keep track of what's going on.
Now put yourself back into 1969. They were paid $35 to play, and that meant that each member got $5. But in exchange of emails, Sherm, who's still doing it tonight, insists that they never cut him his share.
Yeah, I was just wanted to pull this roller right off. Okay. The fan switch off. You can.
You got paid for tonight, and also for whatever they didn't cut you in on. They got paychecks. They've been begging me about not getting paychecks. I also want to thank our finale, our own Rose Bowl twirler, Ruth Peoples Bradley. Also is celebrating another 21st birthday this week. And members of the municipal band, under the direction and coordination of Jody Brentnell, they were gracious enough to help us tonight because the high school band is in Pella. And I'm going to try and do names correctly, Jody, but we have Karen Engesser on clarinet, Dan Good on baritone, Matt Herrick on trombone, Lila Mechy, sorry, second alto sax, and Todd on trumpet. So thank you. And Mr. Ellingson, there are 3 guests in the back of the room that would like to say hello to you. Joan and Lex Lane, and Barry Press.